Good morning and happy Tuesday. Is it ever going to get light outside? We're at that time of the year where it's dark in the morning. I love to take the time and stop and think about what we've accomplished as humans, both good and bad. And when you think about those amazing things, this device, I had a chance to talk to a bunch of kids in high school a couple of weeks ago. And they've grown up with this device that I'm talking into. I mean, they've kind of never known life without it. It's been around for 11, 12 years. So, if you're a senior in high school, it came out when you were 8. So you kind of knew that life before this phone, but really most of your life you've known this phone. And I said to them, this device I'm talking into is a gateway to anything that mankind has ever dreamt of. And that's a miraculous thing. It's an incredible piece of technology, and technology is just going to keep growing exponentially. Well, if you look at any big thing that we've done as humans, somebody had a vision of it in the beginning, and then, leaders have the ability to inspire the way. They inspire their vision in others. When you do leadership, you first have to lead yourself, and then you lead a small group, and then you lead a large group. And if you're a leader, you come out of a place of service. True leaders are really trying to serve the people that they're leading, but they're able to inspire that group. But they inspire them with a vision, and that vision comes from imagination. Einstein said that imagination is more powerful than knowledge. Knowledge is what is, but imagination is what can be. And that's really what happens. If you think about it, somebody has this idea that we're going to create this new reality, and then they inspire others, and pretty soon that reality exists. Whether it's putting a man on the moon, which was in a large way Kennedy's vision, but other people obviously had that vision too. But Kennedy was the one that said, "We're going to do this. We're going to figure out how to do this." And I mean, even when they launched people into space, they just weren't really sure how they were going to bring them back, but they figured out how to do the calculations, and they figured out how to make it happen, and we put a man on the moon. So anything that you want to do in your life, that we want to accomplish in our lives, it's got to start with an idea. It's got to start with a vision of what it is that you want and what it is that you want to be. And that vision is way more important than any uh, uh, path to how to get there. Because number one, we've got to have the idea. And then number two, we've got to have the motivation. Then the third thing we figure out is how. Remember that a lot of times how we get stuck is we go right to the how. So we say, I want financial independence. I want to have the body that I want to have. I want to have the relationship that I deserve. But we immediately go to, I don't know how I'm going to accomplish that. Well, it isn't about the how, it's about the why. Many times we have no idea how we're going to accomplish things before we start the process. In fact, most of the big things that we talk about, if you were to go back the last 200 years and say, what are the biggest changes that have impacted the world, whether it's this iPhone or the personal computer or flight, or I guess we got to go back further. No, we don't. Flight, cars, whatever. How did that start? That started with somebody that had a vision. When they had that vision and said, we're going to do this, did they have any idea how they were going to do it? No, they had no idea how they were going to do it, but they knew why they wanted to do it. They were inspired with that vision, and that why was big enough that it not only inspired them, it inspired others. You don't need to necessarily inspire others if you don't want to. You just need to inspire yourself. And the way that you do that is you get a big enough why. You get the vision of what it is that you want, and you figure out why you want it. So, what motivates you to get that body that you deserve, to achieve that financial independence? And for everybody, that's going to be different. But whatever it is, that's what you got to focus on. And that's where imagination comes into play, because not only does imagination tell you what you want, you get a vision, a clear vision of that outcome, but it also allows you to look at, what am I going to get when I get there? Because that's going to be your fuel. That's going to be your driver. What's the reward for that outcome that is going to inspire your way, so that you're driven to take steps towards that every day? Remember what we said yesterday. Yard after yard, it's hard, but inch by inch, it's a cinch. You only need to take little steps every day, and before you know it, if we improve by 1% each day at the end of a year, you haven't improved by 365%. It's more like an 1,800% improvement that you've done over that year. So, I mean, even if you start out just running to the next telephone pole and back, as we talked about yesterday, if you start out doing one push up every day, whatever it is, that little bit will get you there. But you need the fuel to drive you to do that on the days when you don't feel like it, because there's going to be days where you don't feel like it. Everybody has days where they wake up and they're like, I'm just not motivated today to do what I want to do. So then you got to tap into that why, that motivation, and that's where imagination comes into play. So what drives you? Is it family? Is it what you're going to be able to create for your kids? Is it what you're going to be able to create for your spouse? Or is it your ability to help others? Is it ability to help your team at work? Is it ability to help a group of people that you're driven to help? Whatever it is, imagination allows you to tap into that drive, into that fuel, and you need to revisit that every day, multiple times a day. Revisit what what am I going to get when I accomplish this goal? How is that going to make me feel? Imagine yourself 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, and you want to be able to look back and say, I am really proud of the steps that I took over that time in order to get to where I am now. And you can do that in advance by using your imagination and putting yourself out 5, 10, 15 years and thinking about what am I going to be most proud of when I look back at this time, and how does that make me feel? Who do I love and who loves me, and how does that make me feel? Who is in my life as a result of me taking these steps? And how does that make me feel? Remember, as you enter into today, there's two types of pains: the pain of discipline and the pain of regret. Discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. So take the steps every day to get yourself where you want to be 5, 10, 15 years, and take a moment every day to imagine. You don't have to close your eyes. You can do it while you're driving to work. Think of, rather than listening to what's going on in the world and playing on social media, you can think to yourself, how am I going to feel in 5, 10, or 15 years as a result of these actions that I'm taking today? Sow those seeds so that you can reap those rewards down the road and be proud of yourself. And then feel those feelings so you're proud of yourself now. So you feel those proud feelings, the pride and the joy and the love from the others and all of those things, so you can turn around and say, yeah, I did that. I did that. I accomplished that. And as a result, my family's in a better place. I'm in a better place. My church is in a better place. Whoever it is that you serve is in a better place because of these actions that you took. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. We're all in this together. Let's take care of each other.